Hi, Emmanuel Lutheran Church. It's Brandon here, and just got back from the mission trip. I had a great time. I just want to share with you a little about my experience going down there. Some of you may know I've been to several mission trips before. One to Africa overseas, and that was eye-opening. That was my first one. Another one more recently was to El Salvador in February, and it was also eye-opening. And one of the things that was different about this trip to Mexico than that was different about any of the other trips is that when you first get down there, it is kind of a bit of a culture shock. You're not used to necessarily the way that people live down there, and you kind of view it as it's all poverty. Well, one of the things that I realized through some of the orientation that was done at the camp by the long-term missionaries that were there was that there's a difference between what is called relative poverty and true poverty. True poverty would be someone who doesn't have the basic needs for life. Someone who's relatively impoverished would be someone who is maybe relative to, let's say, the United States. They look poor, but they have all their basic necessities taken care of. And as I was in Mexico the whole week, that was one of the things that I realized is that they're not truly poor, they're just relatively poor. And a lot of the things that they have there, they're completely satisfied with. And the things that they focus on in their culture is much different than what we focus on in our culture here in America. And so after being there for a week, one of the things that was different from being in any of the other mission trip areas I've been to before is that you kind of learn to be okay with the way they're living, because it's clear they're okay with the way they're living. They're happy with the way they're living. And it's relatively poor to the United States culture, but for them, some of them are extremely wealthy because, as Jesus said, you can be more rich. It's better to be rich in spirit than to be poor in spirit. And I think that they, in a lot of ways, have a rich spirit. So that was one of the experiences I had down in Mexico, and I wanted to share that with you. I also wanted to say thank you for all your prayers. For our team for safety there and back. We had a great trip, and I'm very proud of all of the students who went, and of Dan and Phil for helping us lead this trip, and Carly. It was just a great time, and I'm so glad that I got to experience this with Emmanuel Lutheran Church.